But we ministered to the whole family, and then he did pass in 20 minutes, which is amazing. I don't know about you, but you paint a picture. Who would you rather be there on that couch? Somebody with the integrity of an honor of love to hold on to life for the sake of your family, just to know in your heart you care so much about their longevity because something's so real to you, you so want it for them. Versus having even one ugly issue while you're sitting there, one unresolved conflict, one judgment, one presumption towards a person, one regret, one, you know what I'm saying? Why would you want to be in that position and have anything of the flesh there when you could actually be perfected in love? I don't know about you, but see, that's the choice you have, to get in that river and let Him grow you up into Him in all things. See, I'm not talking perfection, I'm talking purity. See, because here, 1 John 2 says this, by this we say we know that we know Him. By this we say that we know Him. In other words, this is what marks our language, we know Him. We say we know Him, but this is what marks that we say that we know Him. That's what that says. He's taking you beyond language to life lived. He says that we keep His commandments. Well, you can hear that and that sounds legalistic. No, I love Him. That's why I love Him. I keep His commandments. Why do you keep His commandments? Because I love Him. It says His commandments aren't burdensome. His way is right and righteous. He's amazing. It costs me everything. Everything that I never was created to be. What's the big deal? Give it up. It came from the devil. It came from the fall of man. It came from Adam, degenerate. Give it up. What are you holding it on to? What are always asking you to give is what you never were. There's a good one, Jenny, for rights. We gained all these rights through sin, and when man fell, we got all these rights incorporated into our self-centered beings. And Jesus says, what a lie! If you're coming after me, deny yourself. Every hurt, every pain, every disappointment, every discouragement comes from that. And that's what we won't face. We give permission to be certain ways because of circumstances. And we define the circumstances to justify the outcome and remain the same even though Christ came. Y'all all right? It's true. I've given up my rights. I'll take you in a minute, Carol. Watch this. By this we know Him. By this we know. Sounds like an assurance kind of thing. By this we know that we know Him. It's not because I say I know Him. It's because I'm living His Word. See, it keeps my own soul accountable. It keeps me from becoming religious. That is awesome. Thank God He gives me those little measuring sticks to keep my heart alive and real. So I'm never just a Pharisee. I'm never just somebody going through the motions. Or I'm never just sad, you see. Right? Sad and you see. Serious. We have enough people that are sad and you see. It's joy unspeakable. It's great tidings. It's good tidings of great joy. Why do we reserve a right to have a low countenance? Why do we justify being less than what this says we've become? And then rationalize it and justify it. Why not let grace overtake us and enter into a realm we were created for that we might not have seen yet, but it's there because He says it is? Why don't faith take us there? Why do we so hold on to our own experience, our own identity, our own mentality apart from Him and level it off into something less than what might be possible? If He says to walk in love, we can walk in love. If He says forgive, we can forgive. If He says to make peace, we can make peace. Right? Oh, come on. By this, He throws so many little measuring sticks out in these chapters. By this we know that we know. Do you hear that? Put yourself in there. Put me in there. By this, Dan knows that Dan knows. Because I keep His what? Commandments. He who says, I know Him, and doesn't keep His commandments, strong language it sounds, huh? Is a liar, and the truth is not in him. See, some people have a need to talk spiritual and affirm spiritual things because in that they get superficially surface affirmed without ever dealing with life and heart and still hold on to rights and things and stuff, and you're only hurting yourself. And what God's saying, because He loves you, is get real, go deeper, and let the proof be in the pudding. It's where the rubber meets the road. It's more than a confession. It's a life lived. It's a heart given. And this intimacy that we're going to get into, obviously not today, is this intimacy is what takes us there. And watch this. This intimacy is another measuring stick. This intimacy it gives you so much boldness and confidence because you're seeking Him, you want Him, you know Him. You don't have another agenda. You're not trying to incorporate Him into your life. He's become your everything. Come on, when two people are in love, when they say, oh, I love you, especially when they're young and it's their first love. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. They can't let each other alone. They're eating food off each other's plate. They don't mind taking each other's gum. Right? I'm being real. Why? Because I just love you. Oh, I love you too. Right? Yeah. But we think there's expressions of love. Come on. One sign of knowing Him is, I love you. I love you. I don't want to go out today without you. Come on. When you think you're in young love and you have to go away for a weekend, you're about dying because I'm not with you. Freddie, I love you. I can't believe you. I can't believe I'm not going to be having fun. I'm going to think I have fun, but I'm going to be with you. This is the first time we've been apart. I don't want to go call me, text me, constantly, believe me. And then 2 days later, oh, I love you. I miss you so much. Come on. Is it that goofy and crazy sometimes? Yes. Wonder if... Am I messing up bad? I know you're all awake. Wonder if we're in love. Well, I don't go anywhere without you. Why would I go without you? In fact, if you don't go, I'm not going. God, I don't live for you. I live through you. I'm not living for you. I'm with you. You're in me. We're together. Why would I get in my truck and go without you? Your ways and who you are. Your ways and who you are is what makes me love you. And I want you, and I want all that you are to be in me. I yield myself to you. You're my everything. Wonder if I'm in love. Wonder if I couldn't go away for a week without Him. Because I love Him. Wonder if I couldn't just take a sabbatical from Him and chill and, hey, we just need space. Just, hey, things ain't working out in a relationship a little. Let's just take some space. Find ourselves. Wonder if I can't do that now because I found myself. Take space? What? Are you kidding me? No. I would die. Wonder if it can be that incredible, guys. Wonder if we're so into making it happen this way in the fuzzy-feely that we never take the time to cultivate our spirit and get truth and reality that will keep us for the rest of our life in the healthiest, most amazing free place that was ever designed for us by God. Wonder if we're selling so cheap through natural experience and never cultivating our spirit to enter into something that's always been there from the beginning. You following me? Wonder if I'm in love. Wonder if that's all that's wrong with me. Call it anything you want, but wonder if it's love. Wonder if He doesn't just love me. Wonder if I love Him because I've allowed Him to love me. Wonder if I've said yes to His love and my heart goes, you're awesome. Wonder if my heart says, you're amazing. There's none like you. No one compares to you. You're more precious than gold or silver. I could search and find no one like you. Wonder if we're in love. Wonder if we're not just in doctrine and theology and trying to be Christians. Wonder if we're in love. And wonder if what we've seen and handled and touched, we declare so that the fellowship we have, you can have too. My hairs are standing up. At least they feel like it. Carol, you had a hand up. Does it still fit? Do you? Huh? Are you okay? Do you want? You soaking in that whole thing.
Yeah,
She's
really.
sitting back there like this.
Tears are running.
She was so cute. She's like, she's mesmerized. She's captivated.
It's hard for I don't know. It's hard for me myself as a parent when I have a son who's away.
Okay.
And he has like a confession type thing he has to do with his peers up there. Like he has to really spew out everything that he's done all his life.
Mm-hmm.
And I know once he does this, he'll be so free. But how can I, as a mother, encourage him to just keep on keeping on? Because where he's at, there's nobody up there for him to fellowship with. And there's so many rules.
Did you ever hear these testimonies about people say, you know, I was in the hardest place of my life, but my mama or my grandmama, I know that. Now listen, now watch, and I'm not correcting you with the cameras. I'm not being insensitive to you because you hear this language a lot, and it's real. You're being real, so I commend you for that. When you say it's really hard, this and this, I want all of us to make sure that we look at a place where we can release faith. And I'm not saying that we can't face struggles and say that it's been hard. But when you settle that it's hard, you're going to continue to get overwhelmed by the natural reality of things. Now watch this. I know it's been hard in what you're trying to say. So I'm not being word critical with you. Here's what I'm saying. You'll catch this. You get a vision for what God's doing. You see your boy for who he is, apart from all this natural knowledge, natural reality. Because the work of Holy Spirit, the prayers of a mother, intercession, and the supernatural is way greater than everything that's trying to grab your mother heart. You have a greater vision. You have a bigger vision. You're seeing this even as a season in time to reap and cultivate the rest of his life. You're making those declarations. You're actually rejoicing, and you're actually thanking God that he's marking your son and his hands upon his life, and that you're putting a care in him that is so healthy, that's leading him to your throne, that God, you're securing his identity and you're working in him. And that, Father, rather than being pulled down by the atmosphere, you're sharpening him and you're showing him what's not in the light of what is. And I promise you, when there's faith in your heart and vision for your son, it's not as hard as we all want to say it is. Because God and his way is greater than the flesh challenge that I so understand what you're saying. But isn't it different than that? There's a higher... So what I'm encouraging you in, Carol, is not just fixing on the natural reality of what your son's facing and what it seems like. Okay? But thank God that this is a season of life, that his grace is greater, that even the Lord attaches people to him that encourage, that there is like faith that comes into his life, that he's not alone. And above all, I know you're in him. God, let him begin to hear your voice like never before. I rejoice in the work you're doing in my son. See, that's faith. That sure beats tending to look this way, think the worst. Oh, God. Then your prayers are all reduced to desperate cries because you're seeing the worst. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not correcting. I'm trying to help you see in an eye that's bringing life and light to your own heart, so that when you pray, it's not just a hurting mother. Even though God's merciful, God's amazing. Who knows, he can hear the cry of a hurting mother. But the level that you have the word in you, young lady, and the way that God has sown into your life, I know that he would be privileged to have you rise up and just proclaim and declare and hold fast the identity of your son in the midst of turmoil, and watch grace come on his life. You follow me? That's your privileged place. And that's where I believe he's raising you to. And you're strong enough for me to talk to you this way. You're hearing me, right? Good. You should have saw her when I was talking about this I'm in love thing. She had her head cocked. You're so precious. I see a bunch of... Huh? Are you kidding me? No, why didn't anybody tell me what time it was? You guys are like, okay with it? No, I got to quit. Oh, my goodness. Actually, I do have to... Oh. You know the preaching's good when you have no idea what time it is. I never looked. I was so into this. I still wanted to go. So I guess we'll have to come back tomorrow. There's a lot of hands. I really can't take no more questions. I didn't have no... I'm sorry. If you have a scheduled time, you got to say something, shout something, or what?
This is encouragement.
For her?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you want to give it to her personally, or do you feel like it's corporately needed because we'll all grab something from it?
Yeah.
Speak it out quick, but just be...
Yeah,
I'm not rushing you, but...
Right. My oldest son is in the military, and...
Oh, here you go. That's good, yeah.
He was over in Afghanistan, and his unit... I have to be careful how I say this.
No, yeah.
But they were put in position that nobody should be put in. And 24 of the guys came back with Purple Hearts. 24 guys got wounded, got hit. One guy had his chest blown apart. They walked into one building, and one guy stepped on a detonator, and there was 9 bombs in that room, in that building. The detonator went off.
Right.
Blew the guy's foot off, blew him through the building. Not one of them bombs went off. My son came home unscathed. Why? Because of the prayers of his parents. It's real.
It's really real.
It's really real.
And it's real in the light of not just because there's need, trouble, and your child's in a tough place. It's real because of destiny, created purpose. Your motive in praying is because of the value and the longevity of your child, not just the parental connection. It's so much bigger yet. You know what I'm saying? And the part that says it's really hard when we totally understand what you mean, and a lot of us would say it the same way. So I'm not being critical with you. What I'm saying is shifting that into, you know what, I see it bigger than it seems, and there's a bigger picture in God you're moving, and the prayers, and there's a great grace that comes on very tough situations. Why? Because we believe, and we're saved by grace through faith. Okay?